Hi, guys. How many remember this case? How many remember this case? Missing Sherri Papini. That's her name. How many remember that case? Well, this is the case we're going to discuss. Um, Sherri went out jogging one morning, November 2nd, 2016, and she disappeared. So this was almost 6 years ago, well, 5.5 years ago. She reappeared on Thanksgiving Day, and she was found about 150 miles from her home in Redding, California. At the time she was found, she weighed 87 pounds. So let's just get into this. Okay. So, let's see. Who do we have in the house? Hi, Holly. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sherri. Hi, Kels. Let's see. Hi. Oh, I said Susan. Okay, so she was out jogging. She disappeared. She shows up again. What was it? November 22nd. So she was gone for about 2.5 weeks. When she was found on the side of the road. Like I said, her hair had been chopped off. She was branded. Till this day, we have no idea what the brand said, because they said that might be evidence. So they're not giving us that information. She was battered and bruised. Bruises went from yellow to black. She had a chain wrapped around, what was it? It was around her waist, and her left wrist had a zip tie on it. This is the way she was found. So, question is, was she actually kidnapped? Now, she said she was kidnapped by 2 Hispanic women that spoke Spanish most of the time. And she really couldn't give a description of them because she kept her head down to avoid being abused while she was captive. Now, I have a picture here of she and her husband. This woman does not weigh any more than 87 pounds in that picture, maybe 102, who knows? But she's saying, they're saying she was kidnapped. There was a reward set up of $50,000 for her, which went unclaimed. So everybody was thinking, she was kidnapped. There was, I forgot his name. He said he was the spokesperson. Someone donated anonymously, and he did a live saying they would pay the ransom, and he didn't work for the family. He was working for an anonymous donor. That also went unclaimed. Hi, Dr. Melanie. Hi, Michelle. So hi, Nina. That also went unclaimed. It's kind of hard to keep somebody for 22 days, to be honest. You either kidnap them, you kill them. Very seldom do they get released unless a ransom is paid. And even most of the time, if a ransom is paid, the person is never returned to their family. So, this was brought to my attention. I remembered the case, so I had to go look at it again. And I looked, and then I found some other stuff. So when she was found, she went to the hospital. She really didn't talk much. She was having a hard time giving them a description of the people. As I said, she said she kept her head down a lot, and she gave them a description of her kidnappers. I think it was 4 months after the fact. I got to make sure I double check my notes on that. But here's the thing. During the investigation, it was found that she was actually talking to another man. She was actually texting another man that lived in Michigan. So she had met this man. She had been talking to this man back and forth for up until 2 days or so before she went missing. So we should also know, oh my goodness, let's see. 50 Shades of Bish is back. Hi, sweetie. I don't know where you've been, but I missed you, woman. I miss saying that name of yours. Um, Holly, I dropped the link. Let me put the link back here for you again. If you want to come up, if you're able to come up. But let's see. So, as I said, there was no request for ransom at all. After looking at some other stuff, came to find out that Sherri had ran away as a teenager. She ran away as a teenager. She seems to have a habit of running away and causing problems. She really does. Back in 2000 and was it 2000? Her father and her sister called the police and said that she burglarized their home and she caused property damage. So this was back in 2000. I don't know what age it was when she ran away from home. I don't know, but I know she was a teenager. In 2003, she was 21 at the time. Her mother called the police. It seems that Sherri had been cutting herself and was self-harming. Let me just say self-harming and blaming her mother. So at the time she was living with her mother called and she wanted to call the police to see what can she do. This woman sounds like she has mental issues. The one thing I'm going to say is that she hasn't been like most of these mothers that harm her kids or harm her family so far. Right now, they said that she's living a quiet existence in California and she's rarely seen. But let's get back to the day she went missing. So her husband, Keith, said that he got worried when she wasn't answering his calls. So then when he found out that the kids were not picked up from daycare, he got really worried. I guess he used his iPhone tracker. He tracked her phone. He found it on a jogging trail close to the house. He found the iPhone with the headphones wrapped around it and neatly placed on the ground with a few strands of blonde hair in it. Now, I want to know, does that sound like somebody that was kidnapped? Does that sound like somebody was kidnapped to you guys? Please let me know. I love you too. Does that sound like, I just want to know, was she kidnapped? Myself, let's see. Okay, Holly, I see you. I forgot to tell you, there were 2 instances of her breaking into her mother and her sister's home. Her father and her sister's home. So it sounds like to me that Sherri has a lot of mental issues. This is my personal opinion. Her husband said that she would have never ran away. She would have never disappeared. And I'm trying to think if it was the family that offered the $50,000. They said she was a super mom. They said that, she did everything with her kids. Yes, he used to Find My iPhone app. And who's going to get kidnapped? Oh, wait a minute. Let me kidnap you. She said she was kidnapped by 2 Hispanic women that had a gun to her head. And they're going to take the time to let you take your earphones out of your ear, wrap them around your phone, and place it neatly on the ground. Now, there was never a ransom demand. Never, ever, ever was there a ransom demand for this woman. Never. 22 days. Where do you think Sherri was for 22 days? As thin as she is, trust me, I think she probably didn't eat for a week. She's got a habit of self-harming herself. This is on record. This came from her mother. She has a habit of self-harming herself. My thought is they questioned the guy in Michigan. They questioned the guy in Michigan. He had been in California the week of her disappearance. There was no evidence to find that he had seen her or they had met up, but they were having an online texting relationship. Okay, there we go. That's what it's coming to. So she's been talking to this guy in Michigan. What makes us think that she wasn't talking to anyone else? I think stuff got a little overwhelming for her. I think she needed to disappear. I think she wanted to disappear. I think she spent this time with some. My opinion is she was never, ever, ever kidnapped. It took her almost a year. Let me make sure. I took notes. I think it was almost a year before she gave them sketches. Yes, October 2017 is when she did the sketches. I'm gonna leave you alone, woman. So it took her almost a year to come up with this sketch. And I found the sketch, but for some reason, it's not letting me. It's not, every time I try to put it on the screen, it's not letting me do it. And it's the normal look. Okay, one Hispanic woman was kind of heavy set with long dark hair and bushy eye, kind of like bushy eyebrows. The other one was tall and thin. I think she watched a movie and came up with these descriptions. I personally, it was 11 months later is when they came up with this. So, Keith, this reminds me of the other lady. I think she was in Florida that said she was kidnapped by the guy from Colombia. Come to find out that she had been having sex with her kidnapper. She really wasn't kidnapped. She wanted her husband to pay a ransom because she wanted the money. She wanted to run away with him. But in this instance, there was no demand for a ransom at all. None. No demand. Even when they dropped her butt off at 87 pounds, it still went unclaimed. It went unclaimed. No one claimed that reward money. I want to know from you guys, what do you think happened to her? And I'm serious. In my opinion, but they said the branding had a threatening message on it. They didn't say what the threatening message was. In my opinion, this woman was not kidnapped. I think she ran away with another guy. I think that it broke up bad. And to make it look good, because who's going to drop you along the side of the highway? The whole thing just doesn't make any sense to me at all. So when this happened, her husband was there with her. You can see what the neighbors are saying. 4 years later, which was in 2020, she and her husband said that they hope that the police doesn't give up on the case. But now you know that the FBI is involved with this case. So, and I'm serious, there is nothing. The cop says that the case is not closed. They're looking at it. They do not believe she was kidnapped. They did over 600 interviews. 600 interviews all around the country. Well, all around the U.S. I think they said the country. They did 20 search warrants. Never came up with anything. The Shasta County Police believes that she's not saying anything because they believe that she knows who her kidnappers were. Also, they did a GoFundMe that raised, what was it? How much was that GoFundMe? They raised, I think they raised close to $50,000. Yeah, that was the reward. They raised almost $50,000. So my question is, it was never claimed. Where did this GoFundMe money go to? Hi, Angela. What happened to the money in the GoFundMe? Can't find it. There's not an article on it where it went, but they did do a GoFundMe and they raised all this money. So to me, I'm thinking it was a scam. I'm thinking that maybe her husband was in on the scam because for some reason he doesn't think that Yeah, the GoFundMe raised about 50,000. He doesn't seem to think that she would have ever ran away. So either you were in it together and you just happily to conveniently come home right before Thanksgiving. Was it the day before Thanksgiving, or was it Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving Day. She came home Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving Day is when she came home. So I personally, my opinion, because think about it. If you were kidnapped to be trafficked, you're a young white woman, blonde hair. It's not easy to sell. I mean, it's not that hard to sell you. Shit, it's not that hard to sell you to anybody, no matter what color you are. If it's just for, yes. He's, oh, yeah, he did. Thank you, Mina. He volunteered for a polygraph. But if she was kidnapped to be trafficked, it's not that hard to get rid of somebody to be trafficked, you know, but they kept her for 22 days and then released her. That is really strange. I believe something else is going on. I don't know if she got into financial difficulty or if she just wanted to walk on the wild side, or she wanted attention from her mother, her husband, her family. I have no idea, but you have kids. It's crazy. Hi, Angela. I don't understand it. Ooh, Susan. I never thought about that. But why would they let her go? Once you're in a cult, I don't think they'll let you go once you're in a cult, though. I don't think they'll let you go once you're in a cult. Huh. I never thought about that. Let's see. I mean, it is strange, guys. I'm serious. Holly says she's obsessed with this case. So let me just tell you, when she was found, there was male and female DNA on her. The female DNA was on her outer clothing. And she said that the women that held her captive gave her the clothes to put on, which could explain that. Also, there was male DNA on her, which the DNA didn't match her husband's. So the DNA was put into the CODIS database in May or April, which was, she came back in November, Thanksgiving Day. So it took them to May or April to get the DNA and submit it into CODIS. Something to me about this whole story stinks. Hi, Grandma Six. It stinks to high heaven. Oh my God, Kelly, how are you? Okay, Kelly doesn't think her husband was involved. I don't believe so either. I really, really don't believe her husband was involved. I really, really don't. But there's something wrong with this picture. There is something going on. And I really just, seriously, I don't think she was kidnapped. That is my opinion. I don't believe she was kidnapped. I want to hear, oh, I love you too, Kelly. I'm glad to see you in chat. I want to know exactly where she was. No one has, as of this date, no one has said where she was. I'm just trying to figure. So what do you guys think? Hey, Kelly. Okay, Grandma Six. Okay, let's see. Angela. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Guys, any ideas of where she could have been? Because I definitely want to know where she was. Let me see. So with that, so the mother and her mom, well, her sister is the one that dubbed her a super mom. Her sister dubbed her a super mom. She said she was always with the kids. She was always about the kids. In a no-tell motel. I do believe she ran off with another guy. That is my opinion. I think she wanted to get away from her life for a while. I think she needed to get away. And then she started, I don't know, she started feeling guilty, or She had to make it look good. She comes back on Thanksgiving Day. If you're kidnapped, I don't give a hoot who you are. If you're kidnapped, you're going to try to remember some details. She doesn't know where she was held. She can't give him any kind of description of where she was. It took her until almost 11 months later to give him descriptions of the people that held her captive. And I'm going to be like the police. Either she knows who her kidnappers were, or there was never any kidnapping at all. And that's what I'm going to go with. I'm trying to see. Mina just sent me something, but I'm just trying to figure out exactly. And then I wanted to, Mina just sent me something I forgot. Let's see. Yes. You guys were here earlier we were all in here for the Chauvin trial. Well, the verdict was guilty on all accounts. I'm glad about that. But I'm just trying to figure out, her case is nothing spectacular. I think she was a bored housewife that wanted a little adventure and ran away from her life for a while. That's what I'm thinking. I am honestly thinking that she was a bored housewife. Oh, there's Holly. Yes, ma'am.
Am I here?
Holly? Yes, I hear you.
Hey. Yeah, my kids are in here, so
They're fine. I love your
I don't
kids.
know how productive this will be. Well, they love you too. This case drives me crazy because you know how I am about true crime.
Yes.
And it's not like, okay, I like to cover missing persons cases and I like to cover, cases that have been solved and all kinds of true crime, but this kind of lies in the middle because she's been found, but we still don't know what happened. And I think that's why it drives me nuts, because
what do you
it doesn't
think
make any sense. I do not think this is so hard for me because I don't know. Hey, listen, y'all. Can y'all hush for a second? In my gut, I've always felt like this was not, like, the story that they put out was not legit. I don't think that her husband was involved, though. I think he is just a naive ding-dong. And I'm not saying, well, maybe that's me. Just naive. Because I think he really did want to believe that the story was true, instead of what kind of makes more sense, given her history, given the fact that she was seeing this dude. Hey, y'all, can y'all please act like normal children for 2 seconds? I mean, I love you dearly, but come on. Okay. I'm the worst. Like, why? I don't even know why you want me up here. Let me see if I can
Molly, I love you. Hi, MZ.
Guys, like, this is my life. Welcome to a conversation with Holly on the phone. This is what it's like. So, God bless. And now the dishwasher's loud. Jesus, I can't escape.
I don't hear the dishwasher, Holly. I
do. It's annoying. Okay, anyways, where was I at? Okay, so it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, the boyfriend being there, her history, like, in the self-harm thing. I think maybe she was bored, had like a mental breakdown, wanted a break from her everyday bored housewife life, decided to go pursue this dude, kind of set things up. And if she wasn't a stranger to harming herself, so maybe she did shave her head. And I mean, I go.
But her head wasn't shaved. They said her long hair was cut. So if you're really going to do that, I would think you're a cult. You're going to cut her hair. You're going to shave it.
I don't think it's a cult. It ain't no daggum cult. No,
thank you.
It's not a cult. I do not think it's a cult. I think I just, in my gut, and my best friend thinks the exact opposite that I do. And sometimes she's right, and sometimes I'm right when we cover true crime. She thinks that she was trafficked. I just don't.
I don't think so, because
thing.
she wasn't raped. I mean, I'm sorry. She never said she was sexually assaulted. She said she wasn't. So I'm glad you brought that up. She was not sexually assaulted.
You're not going to you're not going to kidnap someone and they can describe what you look like. You're not going to keep them for an amount of time. Know that there is a reward and and just let them free. You would kill them or you would take the reward. So that tells me.
Well, that's what I said.
Well,
they don't hold you for 22 days.
Well, if somebody's gonna hold you for that long, and this person that you're gonna release, if they can identify you and all of that, and you can be identified, then I would think it would make, if you're not going to take the reward, it would make more sense to kill her than it would to just let her out on the highway so she can go running in the street. It just don't make no sense. Like, this case drives me nuts. I can't figure it out. Okay,
what about the guy that called? Was it months later, or was it almost 4 years? The tipster that called and said it was all a hoax, and she had been with him the whole time.
Well, unless that person has been, could they confirm that what he said was true? It could be anybody could call and say that.
He called several times. I think now they're taken seriously because he may have proof. I'm telling you, this reminds me of the woman I think it was Florida, when she said she was kidnapped by was it a Colombian or somebody? Come to find out, she had been having sex with this guy. Her husband, I think the ransom was like, what was it, $5 million or something like that. And she was never kidnapped. She was never kidnapped.
I feel like, I don't know. I hate talking about this case sometimes, because if she really was kidnapped, I would feel horrible for doubting the story, right? But
I don't
gut
believe
tells me that it just doesn't make sense. Another thing is that nothing has been said about it for all these years. Now, if this happened to me, my husband will be out there demanding justice, asking for. They haven't said, they have been in hiding. It's just like, and I almost think that the husband, I don't know if he's in denial or maybe he came to the realization that she did this for attention or something, but it was too embarrassing to admit, so they've just gone into hiding. Like, it's either that or she's so traumatized because it really did happen to her. I don't know.
Back in 2020, they made a statement. 4 years later, they made a statement saying that, hopefully the cops are still looking into the case and they just want to live their lives in peace. I don't think she was kidnapped. She never received any kind of mental help. She never went to see anyone to talk about it. She's been in hiding ever since. And I'm saying hiding, which means she doesn't leave her house. I don't think she was kidnapped. I think she wanted to get away for a while.
Yeah, I think so too. But
oh yes, her nose was broken. Okay, seriously, I can have somebody punch me in my nose to break it too. The bridge of her nose was broken. Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that, Nina. Yeah, the bridge of her nose was broken.
It's so wild and like, I don't know. That's why I tell you this case drives me crazy, and I wish I had more like insight to give you. But I guess my contribution is this: it's the case. It's the craziest freaking case ever. There's no real like. Yeah, that's always been my gut feeling. But I hate to say it, because what if we're wrong? And I would never want to like re-victimize a victim, and take away from their experience. If this really did happen, it's the weirdest case ever if it did. But you don't want to.
You see what Nina just said? There was no motive for the kidnapping. There was never a ransom made. You can't, and she looks like she weighed about 96 pounds or 102 at the most anyway. So she was found. She weighed 87 pounds. That's her just drinking water for a week. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not going to keep you, starve you, and let you go, and no money. And they're not asking for anything.
Well, see, that's the thing. If they would ask for money, or they just kill her, they wouldn't just let her go because they might get caught. So, if they weren't going to get money out of her, why would they just let her go? That's what don't make no sense. And on Thanksgiving Day, come on now, like.
Maybe they couldn't afford to feed her any of the turkey they had. Who knows? I think she's lying. I think the reason, I'm telling you, the state's going to find that this was a hoax. She's going to serve some time. This was a hoax. I do not believe.
I'll be sure. Listen, there are so many cases that, victims' families are dying to have solved. This is clearly not one of them. I don't feel like they're like, oh, please solve this case.
Okay.
So
you remember the lady in Florida?
Put that much energy into it.
You remember the lady in Florida? Her husband had to pay the state back for all the time they did the research and searching for and everything else. And the guy had the video.
I don't know what case you're talking about, but I need to look it up.
Okay, I think it's Florida. Miami, Florida. I can't remember. It was a sunny state. Can't remember which one. She said the guy was from Paraguay. I'm saying Colombian, but she said she was kidnapped. The husband is a rich guy. They found her. She was at this place with this guy, and they had been having sex. And I think he was a Paraguayan, whatever. The guy had her on videotape. He taped the whole thing with them laughing at her husband, with her making a phone calls to her husband.
Oh my gosh. How did I miss this? Like, seriously.
This was about 5 years. This was right after the Jogger situation.
Y'all, please hush.
It was right before the Jogger situation or right after the Jogger one. Yes. Okay. She was never kidnapped.
You'll have to send me the link to that.
Oh. He was Peruvian.
Somebody else come up because I don't really know what this.
No,
all I can say is this case makes me crazy. It just makes me crazy.
Just look it up, Holly. He was Peruvian. The only thing that saved him from a kidnapping charge is he had her on tape. He recorded her.
That is they sound like the biggest thing around in town. I mean, hello.
Yep.
Like if you're
her husband divorced her, and then she had to pay the state back for all of the wasted, because they gave her a fine. Her mother believed that she was kidnapped even after the guy played the tape of her. He recorded her on his phone. She was never kidnapped. They wanted the money from her husband.
Well, that's sick. See, in this case, I think
there was no ransom.
If we're going with the theory that Sherri went away on her own and staged this to keep her family together or whatever, she didn't want her husband to know a real true reason for leaving. If we're going with that theory, I think that her husband truly didn't know. I don't think it's a situation where I don't think he was trying to scam anyone. I think she did that completely on her own. That's just what I feel.
Do you think that he has a Kelly, look for the one woman let me see what it's called. Had to be Florida. I'm thinking it's a sunny state. It was after or before her. I think it was after her. No, I think it's before her. That's why they think that she pulled the hoax too. So maybe 2016, 2015. Because her
I don't know. If it was 2014, it's when I had Colton, and I wasn't really watching anything because I had a newborn. So
I'm thinking it was Miami.
No, you should hear about these kind of things.
Yeah, the woman she said she was the guy was Peruvian. And they got him. She was and he showed that when she was screaming and when she was calling her mother and her husband, look at hoax kidnapping in Florida. I think it should be under there. She was never kidnapped. Never kidnapped. And she kept calling, where's the money? Where's the money? They're going to kill me. And she's acting like she's being slapped around and stuff. I can't remember the name. I think it was Florida or but I know it was a sunny state.
I'll find it later.
She's another rich. Well, I don't know if Sherri was rich, But this lady's husband is rich, had his own business, had his own company, and he was willing to pay the ransom for his wife. And after it was all said and done, it was proven. Then he divorced her. He left her, and he has custody of the kids as well.
Well, that's weird.
Yes.
Hey, y'all, please.
Okay, Kelly, you
have to get off here because my kids must have ever let in mine.
Okay,
but
I would
love to hear other. I haven't been watching the chat. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, baby.
Gosh, you're so loud.
I hear you.
I haven't been watching the chat, but I'm gonna go back and watch it because I love to hear other people's opinions. And
Quinn
please
Gray.
have somebody else up if they have a different opinion because I'm fascinated by this, and I would love to know what other people think.
Yeah, I dropped the link in the chat already. If anybody wants to come up, I got you, Holly. Okay, if anybody, Quinn Gray, that's her name. That is her. Thank you so much. Quinn Gray, I could not remember her name. But yes, she was not kidnapped at all. There you go. Thank you. Yep, that's her. Quinn Gray. She was not kidnapped at all. And she had to pay the state back for the resources that they used to find her. And 43, but I forgot how much the ransom was for. Kelly or Sincere, do you guys know how much the ransom was for? Because she was getting money from her husband, and I think the guy was Peruvian. I keep saying Colombia, but I think it was he was Peruvian. But she had been having an affair with this man, and she planned her own kidnapping. So that's why they're thinking that Sherri, I don't know if she was before Sherri or after Sherri. I can't remember. But that's why they're saying that they thought she was a hoax too. Yes, ransom was $50,000. Yep. So it's just strange. It's very strange. But I think they want to get away from their lives sometime. And, they do little shit like this. But in the meantime, you're using police resources and stuff that could be used on other things. You have your family all in an uproar if they're not in on it. And especially when you have kids, because Quinn had kids as well. You've got your kids. They don't know what to tell them where mommy's at. You know what I mean? The shit is crazy. But this is the stuff they do for attention, and they want to get away. Now, she was going to give her kidnapper, I think he was going to get, what was it, 30,000 or 15, and she was going to get the rest. Yeah. Okay, it's 2009. 2009. Thank you. So it was before this happened to Sherri. And that's why they were thinking that with Sherri, it was another hoax. So, and I believe it was. I don't believe she was kidnapped. This is my opinion. If I'm wrong, I would admit to it. I think she needed to get away. She wanted to get away. It was stress. She was super mom, as her sister called her. But this is the same sister who was living with the father, and they called the cops and pressed charges against her for not one, but two instances of burglarizing the house and damaging their personal property. They don't say what was stolen out the house. This is the same Sherri who was self-harming herself and blaming her mother. I believe that she has mental, I'm not going to say that. I can't talk about somebody's mental. I believe that she has issues. She needs attention, or, I don't know. Something's wrong with her. But I do not for 1 minute believe this woman was kidnapped. Yes, and I still believe it's a hoax. I think it's a hoax because you put up the ransom. There was another, there was another guy. It was somebody, it was an anonymous person that put up another ransom. And you have this, this guy went on, he was a negotiator. He goes on, he posted a video directly addressing her captors, stating that he was authorized by an anonymous donor to pay a six-figure reward for Papini's return. No questions asked. Gamble was clear that he wasn't working with law enforcement during the process, and authorities likewise disavowed him. So someone else was actually putting up money for her return, and the money was never, no one ever staked claim on the money. So if you're going to kidnap somebody, you don't sexually assault them. She's got some bruises. Shit, I hit a chair and I bruised from here to there, and it goes black where it goes is red, then it goes black, then it goes yellow, then it fades out, and I got green marks. I can hit a damn chair and bruise real easily. So, okay, she had bruises. Her hair wasn't shaved off. It wasn't chopped. They said that it was cut. It was cut. They cut the long hair. Okay, you can get that shit styled. Okay. Oh, I need a haircut. She can get it styled. Yep. So that's all I'm saying. I don't believe she was kidnapped at all. Yep. That's what she's an attention whore. Yes. But I don't believe it. And Holly was the one that brought the case to my attention. I remember it. And I couldn't remember what case was first. I believe she saw what happened with Quinn. She decided, okay, well, when I'm found, I'm going to be bruised and battered and everything else. So, yes, I believe it was a hoax. I don't believe she was kidnapped. I think her husband is a fool to believe that this woman was actually kidnapped. She wasn't sexually assaulted. You got 2 Hispanic women in Redding, California. Yep, 2 Hispanic women with guns. And they spoke Spanish most of the time. So she couldn't understand what they were saying. Shit, if I'm in captivity, I'm going to try to pick up on some of your damn words. But it took her 11 months, guys, 11 months to give them a sketch of her kidnappers. And that's a damn lie. I think she watched some show and she just came up with something, or she probably was in a grocery store one day or driving and she saw 2 Hispanic women and she goes, okay. Or she looked it up on the internet. I don't believe her at all. I just don't. And I hope they find out it was a hoax, and I hope they take her ass to jail or make her pay back the resources that the police had to use to actually look for her dumb ass, and got the FBI involved too. I don't believe it. So, no, I don't. And then one day her husband's going to wake up and go, this bitch lied to me. She was not kidnapped. So, yeah, you weren't assaulted. You were beaten. You got 2 women that's going to pick up a wife and just beat you for no reason at all. None. No reason. I don't get it. Thank you. Just take off. Because you know what I think? I think she wanted to have a way to come back home. She wanted to be able to go back home. She doesn't want to lose her kids. Yes. So I'm saying she did not want to lose her kids. She needed a way to go back home. How else than to act like you were kidnapped? Because who's going to take the time to wrap the phone and lay it down neatly on the thing with just a few strings of your hair in it? Come on now. What kind of kidnapping shit is that? What kind of shit is that? I don't believe it. When I read that, it was neatly placed on the ground with a few. It wasn't cracked. It wasn't thrown down. The things weren't yanked out. It's not like, but she said she was kidnapped at gunpoint. Really? But they allowed you to take your earphones out. Hold on. Don't shoot me yet. Let me take this out. Wait a minute. Let me wrap this up. And let me put this neatly on the ground right here. It was put there so her husband can find it. She knew that he would track her iPhone. She knew it. She knew it. She knew it. She knew it. There was no kidnapping. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Sherri. Seriously, it was no kidnapping, guys. And if somebody else thinks differently, please come up and say, let me know what you think, because I really, really want to know what you think. I really don't believe this woman was kidnapped. I don't believe it. I think it was all a hoax. If you guys want to come up and let me know what your thoughts are on it, there's the link. Please come up. I just don't believe it at all. And let's see. Yes. Tomorrow, I got a special guest, and I'm scheduled for 2. We've been going back and forth to make sure that that's the right time for both of us. So, Yes, but anyway, I'm looking. So yes, I have a special guest tomorrow, and then Thursday we're gonna have Andrew on. So guys, seriously, if you have any questions for Andrew from 90 Day, this 90 Day Fiance this past season, you know, Andrew in the mirror, he's an open book. I know I'm writing down some questions for Andrew. I have lots of questions for Andrew. If you have any questions for him, send them to me or just put them in the chat and he will be more than happy to answer them. I just, you know, you see things on TV, you don't get the full picture. I never, and I'll be honest and I'll tell him, I wasn't too sure, but him, I thought he was sketchy. I thought she was sketchy. And now I see that she's more sketchier than what I thought he was. So I'm just looking forward to talking with Andrew because it's to me he was played and used and she did it. So you know, and people take things that's on TV and it goes into people's real lives, you know, bad reviews and for his business and everything else. But we're going to cover a lot with Andrew, and tomorrow my special guest, I hope you guys be surprised, which you will be because I haven't told anybody, but it's going to be a good one. And let's see. Okay, so tomorrow I have a special 90-day guest, which I haven't announced who it is. And then Thursday I have Andrew from 90 Day Fiance. So I have two 90-day people back to back. So I really appreciate you guys. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate you guys being here. And guys, I am happy with this verdict. I know everybody's watched it. I ran out of here after my live, and you can sense the mood in the store was totally different. I mean, it was a total different feeling in the store when I went into the store after I got off live. It really was. There was no tension. There was no nothing. It was a totally different atmosphere, guys. So I know I'm sick of seeing Attorney Ben Crump on my TV, so I'm getting ready to turn it because I'm tired of hearing him talk. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. I am working on another story that's more in depth, and this one is not a happy ending. So I'm still doing some research on it. And I'm definitely going to do that one. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a true crime from my vacation spot as well. Thank you. I'm going to do a true crime from my vacation as well. I'm going to have some time in a hotel, and I am just doing it. And guys, if you guys that haven't met Sincere right there in the chat, Sincere has come up with us a couple of times. Sincere is going to be with me. We're going to do some other trial stuff. He's a really smart young man. His friend Lil Smoke was on with us one night as well. And I really want to say thank you for his honesty, for his passion. And Heidi Light came up with us. I want to say, and Wit came up with us. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. But we're going to be covering a lot of things. I like reality. I know I will be doing Potomac, and I will be doing Beverly Hills. So I would definitely be covering those two housewives. I don't know about the other shows because I'm trying to get more into real life and things that are going on right now. So, and let's see. No, I will not be staying at the Cecil Hotel. Not at all. I will not be staying at the Cecil Hotel. I don't even think I want to go visit that damn place. I might stand across the street, but no, I can't do that because Skid Row is right there. And y'all know I don't like shit like that. I can't be around like, can't do it. Went to Oakland. When I left San Francisco, we went over the bridge, went through Oakland, went through Tent City. We stopped at a light, and I was scared to death. No, I don't like stuff like that. So won't be doing at the Cecil, but I'm going to go on a ghost hunting trip with Ghost Hunter Joe one time. Right. And we're going to be eating pretzels. But anyway, guys, and Pringles, I love you. I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you for sticking with us. Tonight, don't forget, I'm on with Jamal and Debbie, the Commentary Zone. Meaning, I don't know if you have their link or not, but it's the Commentary Zone. They're going to be going over Jen Shaw. Erica Girardi, and Teresa Giudice, all of their legal issues. And they have invited me on a panel. So I will go over. Debbie is always over here with me. Jamal always comes up with me. I'm going to go over and have some fun with them tonight. So I hope you guys can join us. It's 6 Pacific time, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. So I really appreciate it, guys. And thank you all. I really do. Love you guys. Thank you for being with me. This is 3 lives in one day. Damn, I'm good. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you all for coming.